Test, test. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the second annual State of the District meeting. Woo! We are so glad that you all are here. My name is Gage Perez from Del Norte High School. And I'll be one of your hosts today. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Kayla.
Thanks, Gage. I'm Kayla Garcia from Valley High School, your other host for today. We've got a lot lined up for you today. Let's give it up for the amazing El Dorado High School Jazz Band that welcomed everyone as we entered today. At this time, please stand for the national anthem. Today, the anthem is being performed by Austin Sprunk from West Mesa High School. This event is all about taking a look at what's been happening in APS under the leadership of our superintendent, Dr. Gabriela Duran Blakey, and getting a sneak peek at what's to come for students, families, and our schools. We'll celebrate the progress we've made, be real about the challenges we still face, and hear about the plans that will help make APS even better. To kick things off, I'd like to introduce someone who has been working hard to make sure our schools are moving in the right direction. Board President Danielle Gonzalez. She has served on the board for 4 years, the last 2 as president. As a board member, she has been a part of the team that set clear goals for our district and continues to monitor them every month to make sure APS is improving outcomes for all of its students. Please join me in welcoming Board President Danielle Gonzalez.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the second annual State of the District Address for Albuquerque Public Schools. As mentioned, I'm Board President Danielle Gonzalez, and I represent District 3, which is the center part of the city. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge my fellow board members who are also here with us today. Representing District 1, we have Janelle Astorga. From District 7, we have Courtney Jackson. Josefina Dominguez represents District 6. And not present today from District 4, Heather Benavides. From District 2, Ronaldo Tomorito, and from District 5, Crystal Tapia Romero. I also get the distinct privilege of welcoming all of the other dignitaries present, but I can't find the list. Is there a list? If you are a dignitary, thank you for coming.
Daniel put it out here. I apologize. I don't know where Daniel put it.
Everyone is a dignitary.
I don't know where Daniel put it. I apologize. There it is right there.
Ta-da! Thank you for that patience. I'd like to acknowledge Senator Harold Pope, City Council President Brooke Bazan, from the Public Education Department, Deputy Secretary Amanda DeBell, from the City of Albuquerque, Kata Sandoval. And as I said, we do believe you are all dignitaries, so if there's anyone who believes you are a dignitary who I failed to acknowledge, you can stand and we will recognize you as well. All right, so as stated by our student MCs, we are here to acknowledge progress, and we want to celebrate all of that progress. But I do want to rewind us a little bit to set some context. And I'm going to rewind us back to the beginning of 2023. That was when, in January of 23, after multiple listening sessions throughout the second half of 2022, the Albuquerque Public Schools Board of Education adopted 4 5-year goals. The goals are ensuring an increase in the percentage of students from our Native American, Black, and economically disadvantaged communities, English language learners, and students with disabilities who achieve grade level proficiency in reading by grade 3. So reading proficiency by grade 3 for target student groups. The second goal, making sure that more of our students from these same groups are doing math at grade level by 8th grade. The third goal, better preparing our high school students for life after graduation by increasing the percentage who are taking 2 or more advanced placement, international baccalaureate, or dual credit courses, or earning an industry certification through career-connected learning courses, or getting a bilingual seal. And finally, increasing the percentage of students who demonstrate the skills, habits, and mindsets for life success. These are things like perseverance, self-regulation, self-efficacy, and social awareness. Now, in addition to these goals, we have also formally adopted some rules of the road. These are the things that you, as our community, told us are important to you as the district is going about implementing strategies to reach our goals. These things we call guardrails. And as a board, we reference these goals and guardrails often because it's vital that everyone in our community be familiar with what we're working toward. We're at the halfway point of this work, and I can unequivocally say that student outcomes focus has fundamentally changed the way we're operating as a district. We are now talking substantively about student outcomes at the board level, at the administration level, and importantly, at the school level. All of our interim targets have been set to keep us on track. Superintendent Blakey, who is just over 1 year into her term as superintendent, and her team are reporting to us, the board, and to you, the public, regularly on the progress toward achieving these specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, or SMART, goals. We've reviewed and we have adopted more than 24 monitoring reports on these goals and guardrails. These reports are keeping us, the board, the district, and the community laser focused on what matters most, our students. They're enabling us to know what is working, what's not yet working, and what's unclear. As a board and as a community, we are together asking tough, strategic questions about next steps, and we're also receiving a root cause analysis whenever something might be off track. As a district also, I am proud to say that we are leading the state with our approach, our focus on goals and allocating resources to improve the education of the students who are identified in the Martinez-Yazzie case. That's pretty cool. Another thing that we have changed is that we are constantly listening to student voice, and so I'm glad to welcome all of the students here present with us today. So if you're a student in APS, if you could please stand and be recognized. We know that these are indeed the most important voices, the most important constituents in our district. So thank you, students, for attending. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and your perspectives, because we do listen to that student voice. We're also paying attention to what we call non-academic measures. So these are things like student sense of belonging, social connections, interpersonal relationships between students and teachers, physical and psychological safety at school, and this includes bullying, violence, and the availability of supports for our students. And all along the way, we are celebrating our students, staff, and our schools when they meet their targets. Now, I'm a big proponent of this student outcomes focused approach because as a school board member, as a parent, and as a community member, I've seen firsthand what a difference it can make to bring clarity to a school district's mission and focusing it on what matters most, students. The fact that we're holding this event today to report to you on our progress shows that it's not business as usual at APS. This isn't a one-off. This board has been consistently meeting with the community to provide information, to listen, and to get feedback. Now, yes, there have been bumps along the way, but we are being transparent and we're working past those. While we as a community and we as board members may sometimes disagree on the best path forward, each and every member of this board wants our students to be proficient in reading and in math. We want our students to be prepared for college or career of their choice after high school. And we want them to have the life skills that they will need to succeed in the world. These are the skills that you, the community, told us matter most. We adopted these goals because we knew that APS had to do better for our kids, for our city, and for our community. This work is personal to me because of my family's long history with APS, and so this is where I get to give a shout out to Valley High School, go Vikings. Make no mistake, increasing academic achievement at a large urban school district is hard, but none of us are shying away from that challenge. Often, in education systems, they try to start with the accountability at the bottom level, with the teachers or with the students. And with our governance model, we are reversing that. And we are saying that accountability starts with us, the Board of Education. We are proud of the work that we've done, and we are excited for the work ahead. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for President Gonzalez. I am now excited to introduce someone whose story shows just how far education can take you. Dr. Michael Richards often talks about how, as a student, he wasn't sure what his future would look like, but with encouragement from his teachers and the opportunities he found in school, he ended up doing things he never thought possible. Today, he's the Executive Vice President for the UNM Health Sciences Center and CEO of the UNM Health Center. Along the way, he's been a doctor in the emergency room, a professor, a mentor to medical students, and a trusted voice in shaping healthcare in New Mexico. What makes Dr. Richards' story so powerful is that it started just like many of ours, with teachers who believed in him and a commitment to keep learning. He's living proof that the goals set for students today can open doors to incredible futures. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Michael Richards.
Well, thank you so much, Gage. So I'd like to start off this morning telling you about a really good friend of mine. His name is Dr. Michael Hubble, and he's a semi-retired college professor in North Carolina. And so you just heard that I am early in my career, I was an emergency medicine physician. And actually what I really specialized in was disaster medicine in that early part of my career. So I want to tell you about a phone call that I had with Mike, but I have to take you back in time a little bit. So for the teachers here, you will remember Hurricane Katrina in 2005. For the students that are here, Hurricane Katrina was one of the largest, most deadly, powerful hurricanes in the history of the United States. Came into the Gulf of Mexico, hit the southern states, but especially hit the city of New Orleans very hard. Displaced 1 million people, over 2,000 deaths, $125 billion of damage. So that on its own is a huge event, but this was one of the major pivotal moments in kind of setting policy in the United States. But at that time, I was a disaster medicine physician. And so I was part of the team that was in the main patient care area in the Superdome because New Mexico sent that team, and I was the chief physician. And so we were there before the city flooded, and we were the only team in the Superdome, the team from New Mexico, and we stayed there until we were out of supplies, and then finally another team could come in and backfill us. That was a little after 3 days. And so as we were getting in the vehicles, and I was being relocated to Shreveport, where we were going to open up a field hospital, called home. Then I called my friend Mike, and I said, Mike, you are not going to believe what I am doing. Mike said, I know exactly what you're doing. I said, what? He goes, everybody knows what you are doing, because this had been on the news, and everybody in the United States was watching what was happening in the Superdome at that time. So we talked for a moment, and then Mike said to me, he said, you know, not bad for a redneck kid from Kernersville, North Carolina. And so what did that mean to me at that moment? And so I thought about Mike and that what he said, and you know, that's the first time it really landed on me that I had been given an opportunity to do something special. Not that I did something special, but that I had been given the opportunity to do something special. Because a lot of my colleagues here in Albuquerque could have been there too. I was there because they were covering my shifts. I was there because I got selected to go there. And in thinking about this with Mike, you know, it reminds me that I've been where you are right now to the students. My path to healthcare and the job that I have right now, it was not predestined by a family in healthcare or academics. In fact, I was born from teenage parents, neither of whom graduated from high school. And so we didn't talk about college at our dinner table. And so when I left high school, I wasn't really college prepared, but I was very grateful that there was a technical community college in my community that created my first entry into higher education. And then from there, I went on to become a paramedic firefighter, working full-time, and I was encouraged by the educators at Guilford Technical Community College who said, you know, Mike, you've got some aptitude, you should keep going with this. And so when I pursued my undergraduate degree, I went to Winston-Salem State University, which is a historical black university and college, and I ended up there because they were one of the pioneering institutions about how to create educational opportunities for working adults, and that was me. And I'm incredibly grateful that Winston-Salem State University helped pioneer that kind of entry for me into an undergraduate degree. And while there, I had college professors who said, you should continue to keep going. And I went on and got a graduate degree from UNC Chapel Hill, and then from there, medical degree from East Carolina University. But at each step along the way, there was a teacher who encouraged me to keep going. Now, I also have kids, many of them who are not much older than you right here. And in fact, there's another Dr. Richards sitting out there, and we have 3 kids who are in college right now and one about ready to go back to graduate school. And so my kids have had a very different experience than me. And so what I would want you to know is that there's more than one path to these kinds of careers. Whether you start like the way that I did, or you start with my kids. But let me share another story with you. I want to tell you one about my daughter, Elizabeth. And so, Elizabeth, this was shortly after I had just done a period of time where I was the interim dean of the School of Medicine. And Elizabeth, interested in a career in healthcare, and so we give lots of advice and discussions around healthcare careers and college. And so Elizabeth tells me, you know, Dad, I was talking to Grandma, and I think that you may not be right about those college grades. I think I really should have a 4.0 if I'm going to be competitive for medical school. And so I said to Elizabeth, well, who am I to question Grandma? But you do know what I do for a living, right? The reason I tell you that story is because it's easy to put up barriers. You don't have to have a 4.0. You know, and for me, one of maybe my biggest mistakes early on in my career was that I didn't dream big enough. But I'm grateful for all those friends and teachers along the way who helped me reset that, and then reset it again, and then reset it again. So, in the case of Elizabeth, you don't have to have 4.0 GPA. You have to be academically prepared and you have to be committed. So be careful not to create barriers. Be careful not to question yourself too much. Think big. Because again, there's no one path to this kind of success. Whether your background is like me, no one in healthcare or college, or like my kids, who were never more than 12 hours away from their next consultation with a doctor or a professor or a teacher, there is a path forward for you. And here's the most important thing I want you to think about. That once you are on that path, your life changes. Few things rival education in its consistency and its power to change individual lives. Economically, socially, psychologically. While education may not be the only transformative force, it is arguably the most reliable and scalable. And I think about one of our Secretary of Educations under President Obama who said, education is the great equalizer of our time, the bridge from hope to opportunity. Now, I also feel very privileged to not just be in healthcare or education, but to be in both of them at the same time. And to be able to create opportunities for careers as a healthcare professional. And so a small plug for that, given that we need more healthcare professionals, and we need you, the students, to pursue that for us. There are over 20 million healthcare jobs. It's kind of a 13% growth, faster than almost any other industry, recession resistant, diverse, well compensated. But what really sets the healthcare career apart is kind of like what I said at the very beginning. I didn't do something special. I was really given the privilege and the opportunity of something special to do. And for that, I'm really grateful. And here's the other thing I'd like you to consider, is that you can do this here. You can do it in other places, but you can do it here. We have created educational opportunities for you that rival some of the best in the United States. for health professional programs. Our College of Nursing in the top 10% in the country. Our College of Pharmacy ranked number 3 for federal research. Our College of Population Health, one of the top 100 graduate programs. And our School of Medicine, tops of many things, especially around primary care. So there's lots of opportunities for you to do that. So I encourage you to think big. It doesn't matter where you start. There's more than one pathway to get there. But there's another thing that I want to do in closing. I want to acknowledge the educators that are in this room. You heard me talk about the profound impact that they had on my life. Honestly, I never made it back to adequately thank those teachers who gave me that encouragement, who put me on the pathway, that gave me the opportunities that I've got right now. So for the teachers that are in this room, on behalf of the hundreds, if not thousands, of other people like me that you've inspired throughout your years, thank you. What you do is actually very special, and it makes a difference. Thanks so much for the opportunity to talk with you today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richards. We are so grateful that you took time out of your busy day to talk about why school and learning matters. You're showing us that education can take us really far. You're an inspiration to kids like us, showing what's possible when you believe in yourself and when teachers and mentors believe in you too. We even have a little gift for you. And let's give another round of applause for Dr. Richards. I am excited to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Gabriela Duran-Blakey. She is starting her second year leading APS, and in that time, she's been working hard to make big changes that put students first. From creating a clear path to help us all succeed in reading, math, and life beyond graduation, to making sure students have a voice in shaping the future of our schools. Dr. Blakey is showing what it means to be a leader who listens and takes action. We're proud to have her guiding our district. Before Dr. Blakey takes the stage, please watch this very special video.
Thank you, Luke. I am proud to say that in just 9 months, Luke and about 4,000 other students will be graduating from Albuquerque Public Schools. And every time that I see that video, I get goosebumps. It's a powerful reminder of our responsibility to prepare our students for the world that awaits them after they walk across the stage in their caps and gowns to receive their diplomas that they work so hard to earn. And behind every cap and gown is a student living a year that comes only once in a lifetime. 1 year to be a first grader, 1 year to be a fifth grader, 1 year to be an eighth grader. And that year is fleeting. And if we don't give them our best, the opportunity is gone. And that's why we do everything that we do. Every lesson, every interaction, every decision is about making that 1 year a foundation for future success. We have worked with urgency to challenge the status quo and to lay a strong foundation for lasting progress. With bold steps and a clear vision, we are setting a course for meaningful change that puts our students first. At Albuquerque Public Schools, we are building critical thinkers, problem solvers, and good communicators. We are molding our students into engaged citizens that are driven by a growth mindset. We are pushing them to be innovative, collaborative, and socially and culturally aware. We are teaching them to persevere. And at the end of the day, we want them to be advocates for themselves, for their families, and for those in this world who cannot stand up for themselves. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our profile of a graduate. And if our most recent graduating class is any indication, we are doing a good job living up to those high standards. Take Abraham Ildawawe, a La Cueva graduate, who was born and spent a good part of his childhood in a rural community in Egypt. He is now a freshman at the University of New Mexico and plans to be a doctor to help underserved communities like the one where he was raised. Take Kaylee Bahi, an El Dorado graduate, and Haley Cornfield, a La Cueva graduate, who made history this past spring, becoming the first APS students to earn state bilingual seal in Dene after passing a grueling oral exam created and administered by the Navajo Nation. Kaylee wants to become an Indigenous rights attorney, and Haley wants to become a court reporter. And take Manzano High School graduate Gabriella McCarthy, who never missed a day of school her entire K-12 career. She is studying political science at the University of New Mexico. And Cody Pittman, a Daniel Scholar who led 110 cadets as the battalion commander of West Mesa's JROTC. He graduated with a 4.5 grade point average and is pursuing a civil engineering degree at Colorado School of Mines. These are the remarkable graduates we have graduating year after year, and that's certainly something we're celebrating. But it's not just about the Codys and the Kayleys of the world. It's also about students like Jared Gonzalez and Isaiah Chavez, two incredible transition services students that we serve. This program supports our 18 to 22-year-old students who have completed high school portion of their programs, yet continue to have transition needs for employment, post-secondary education, training, independent living, and community connections. Jared and Isaiah were among the inaugural class of students who received on-the-job training at Outcomes Coffee, a small beverage shop we opened last spring to teach students the basics of holding down a job in a real-world setting. Beyond making the beverages and handling the cash register, they are learning important soft skills like communicating with customers and managing difficult situations and customers like me. These students are modeling the APS profile of a graduate. They are working to become problem solvers, good communicators, collaborative, socially and culturally aware, and ready to adapt and persevere. But this profile isn't just words on a page. It captures the knowledge, skills, and mindsets that we want every one of our APS students to carry with them beyond our classrooms. Our graduate profile begins shaping students from day one. From the moment a child enters our schools, we take on the responsibility of helping them grow into the person that they become. As a leader of one of the largest school districts in the nation, I take tremendous pride in the work of our public schools and what we do to serve every child. Because public education is a powerful promise that every child, no matter their zip code, their background, their language, or their learning needs, deserves an excellent education. And it's a promise to prepare our students not just for the next assignment, but for life. It's a promise to our communities to bring people together, to build understanding, and to create a future better than the one today. And it's a promise to our staff to support, challenge, and empower them to do their best work every single day. I am in awe of our staff and the breadth of services that they provide, from our pre-K programs for 3 and 4-year-olds to our transition service programs for students 18 to 21. And every day, they make that promise real for our students. For our children with profound special needs, there is no better place than the Highland Complex and our Stephen Moody Complex. These schools are designed to support our students with autism and other needs that can't be met on a typical campus. And this November, you will have the opportunity to help us expand this work through a general obligation bond on the ballot. This bond includes funding for our special needs education facility on the west side so that students will not have to be bused across town to access these facilities. This bond will also fund critical upgrades to our schools. Over the summer, our technicians have been working around the clock on air conditioning units as we face heat waves, rising temperatures, and aging systems that are often barely holding together. And with this bond, we will be able to convert 20 schools to new refrigerated air systems. In addition, we will be able to complete 13 essential school building projects that have been delayed or made more expensive with rising construction costs. And we plan to build a hands-on career lab that will prepare students for high-demand careers. So please vote on November 4th. And we are very proud to be able to say that we are not a one-size-fits-all district. Take Sandia High School, for example. Sandia High School offers one of the most rigorous high school educations through its International Baccalaureate program. And guess what? We're also launching an IB program at Cleveland Middle School. This addition at Cleveland gives us a natural pathway for IB, and we are preparing to add an elementary school to this pathway. It's among the many choices that we provide, offering something for everyone, including all students and families. We offer a K-12 environmental STEM pathway called Sustaining the Future at Los Padillas and Mountain View Elementaries, Polk Middle School, and Rio Grande High School. This pathway focuses on inquiry-based learning experiences, and an environmental STEM curriculum provides students the opportunity to obtain certificates from partnering universities such as drone flying, agriculture sustainability, clean energy, and sustainable farming. Our Engineering the Future magnet is at Mission Avenue, Garfield Middle School, and Valley High School. And this magnet teaches students to think like engineers and use the design process to create solutions to real-world problems through hands-on learning experiences, incorporating project-based learning and community partnerships. And our family schools, Desert Willow and Coyote Willow. These schools offer a K-8 students a unique blend of classroom learning with parent-led homeschooling, giving families an active role in their child's education. These schools create strong communities where parents, teachers, and students learn together through hands-on project-based experiences. And this innovative model helps students thrive academically while fostering independence and a love of learning. And College and Career High School. College and Career High School is a one-of-a-kind partnership between APS and CNM, where students can earn their high school diploma while taking college classes tuition-free. Many graduate not only with a high school diploma, but also with an associate degree or professional certificate, saving families time and money. With a graduation rate of over 96%, This school prepares students to succeed in college, career, and life. An early college academy, a blue ribbon school. Students take their high school classes in the morning so that they can take classes at UNM, CNM, or the Career Enrichment Center in the afternoon. Our students earn credits towards an associate's degree or a university degree or complete an industry certification. And this school has a remarkable 99.8% graduation rate. And our college and our Career Enrichment Center, which offers electives to students across the district from all traditional high schools, giving them the opportunity to pursue practical nursing, to earn an LPN license, explore EMT program, or participate in Educators Rising. Our students participate in a number of extracurricular activities in middle school and high school, and we are proud to say that Albuquerque Public Schools last year earned a combined 9 state championships in athletics and activities. And just as we celebrate our achievements on the field, our commitment to the arts gives every student a chance to explore their creativity, discover new passions, and prepare for life beyond the classroom. Beginning last year, we are proud to say that every one of our elementary students take art and music every year. Our middle and high school students have an incredible art and music program to take at school, and we provide individual instruments to every student who wants to learn how to play. We even have our own instrument repair shop. And at Janet Kahn School of Integrated Arts, our students pre-K through 8th grade learn in an environment rooted in artistic education and creative learning. Fine arts will take the center stage this year as Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has declared this school year the New Mexico Year of the Arts in Education. And when people talk about school choice, I proudly point to the depth and variety of the programs we have to offer to our students. Our motto, I choose APS, reflects the many opportunities available to our students. And we are proud of what we've built and excited to keep growing and expanding our opportunities. But first, here are a few reasons why our students and staff choose Albuquerque Public Schools.
I choose to be a part of one of the 26 magnet schools.
There's more than her. I could reenact it. I can't see anybody in there. There we go. So you get the gist. I choose, I choose, I choose. We all choose APS. Thank you, Janet. Offering school choice is important, but it only matters if our students are in school to take advantage of it. That's why attendance is so critical. While the rate of chronic absenteeism is slowly improving, still about a third of our students are missing too many days. And with each absence, we lose the chance to reach our students who need us the most. And this isn't just a high school issue. 30% of our elementary students are chronically absent, missing out on crucial foundational skills that set the stage for everything that comes next in their education. And we can't teach students if they are not in school. And every missed day is a missed opportunity to help them grow and succeed. But improving student outcomes also means raising our proficiency rates in reading and math. A couple of years ago, fewer than 4 in 10 of our students were proficient in English language arts, and only about 1 in 4 students were proficient in math. And we must do better. That's why we are so focused on the goals our Board of Education set in 2023. And I am thrilled to stand before you to say that we are on track to meet all of our goals. But first, I would like to highlight some of our schools that are making the way on real progress. Barcelona Elementary School. Barcelona Elementary School is leading the way on improving reading proficiency. They stopped shielding students from challenges and instead focused on building the skills that they need to succeed. By teaching to their highest performing students, they raise the bar for the whole class. Teachers collaborate, deliver consistent grade level instruction, and dive deep into data to guide every lesson. Principal Raylyn Dooley, please stand to be recognized. and John Adams Middle School. John Adams Middle School is driving growth in math proficiency through smart, targeted strategies. Using iReady and unit assessment data, teachers pinpoint the skills that students need to succeed on grade level material. They build those skills with quick start class activities, small group instruction, and after-school tutoring for extra support. Students also practice explaining their thinking in math through writing, deepening their understanding of mathematical concepts. Principal Kenneth Merhage, please stand to be recognized. Valley High School is excelling in college and career readiness. They go the extra mile to connect students with AP courses, apprenticeships, and other opportunities, and show them how these programs set them up for success after graduation. At Valley High School, they promote these programs through social media, teacher conversations, and weekly parent and staff updates. And they even hold an apprenticeship signing day, much like athlete signing days. These results speak for themselves. More students are taking AP classes and earning college credit, and more joining internships and apprenticeships, and enrollment in the Engineering the Future pathway is growing. At Roosevelt Middle School, we have seen impressive gains in skills, habits, and mindsets. They are strengthening perseverance, self-regulation, self-efficacy, and social awareness by building a culture of belonging, well-being, and growth. And it starts on day one of school with Where Everyone Belongs, or WEB, which is an orientation program that welcomes sixth graders and helps them feel at home at their new school. This program started in a handful of middle schools, including Roosevelt, where they were already having success. And this year, we expanded it to every middle school because we saw the value that it brings in helping our students feel like they belong in day one of their new middle school. Roosevelt also offers 2 electives each semester and academic support through their What I Need or WIN class, giving students the tools and confidence to succeed and making them excited to come to school every day. And I also want to recognize a teacher, Keith Janiski, a committed science and math educator at Cleveland Middle School, who inspires his students through leadership roles and bustling athletic programs, guiding them to build confidence, teamwork, and school pride. As the athletic director, he champions a wide range of sports, and as a leadership teacher, he helps students plan memorable events, fostering communication, responsibility, and engagement. His dedication also plays a role in academic improvements, with Cleveland Middle School receiving recognition for significant gains in mathematics. And I understand Mr. Janiski is here today with many of his students. Will Mr. Janiski and his students please stand to be recognized? The gains that we are seeing in these schools and classrooms didn't happen by chance. We've committed to strategic initiatives that turn vision into action. From elementary through high school, we are rolling out changes that meet students where they are and help them to grow. At our elementary schools, nearly a dozen campuses are part of a redesign initiative. A few years ago, when the state was pressuring us to close struggling schools, we took a different approach. We redesigned them. Working hand in hand with the community and teachers, we co-created a new vision for these schools. It is a model that is centered on teacher collaboration, Genius Hour, community partnerships, and coaching. And we continue to refine and improvement, using it as a model for other schools across the district. And in middle school, we are partnering with Arizona State University on a bold new model to rethink the middle school experience. Too many students have been lost in the jump from 5th to 6th grade, leaving middle school students struggling to provide the engaging environment that our students deserve. The Next Education Workforce Initiative, launching this year at 6 of our middle schools, breaks down outdated structures to create a student-centered learning environment. Teachers collaborate, adjust schedules, and group students based on individual needs and interests. And at our high schools, we are launching the Academies of Albuquerque, a modern, purpose-driven approach to learning. This model connects students with real-world career pathways designed with community and industry partners. At the academies of Albuquerque, students will choose pathways aligned to the New Mexico workforce needs, from engineering to health services, and engage in core subjects through the lens of their chosen academy. Career exploration, hands-on learning, internships, and strong community partnerships help students discover their passions and graduate ready for college, trade school, military service, or straight into the workforce. And that's why, following the State of the District this morning, we are excited to host the Powerful Partnerships Convening, organized by United Way and facilitated by Ford NGL, a nonprofit that partners with communities to turn high schools into career-themed academies. These programs are more than initiatives. They are opportunities that can change lives. Just look at Dr. Richards, whose story we heard earlier. Students who receive encouragement, mentorship, and chances to explore their interests can achieve things that they never imagined. His path from an unsure student to Executive Vice President of University of New Mexico Health Science Center and CEO of the UNM Health System shows the transformative power of education and partnerships, and exactly why we design experiences like the Academies of Albuquerque to prepare every student for success. And just as we plan for their futures, we also take time to celebrate the educators who bring all of these plans to life. Our school district has a lot to be proud of. We have the largest crop of National Merit semifinalists in the state, a designation reserved for the brightest students in the country. Ventana Ranch Elementary School was designated a Blue Ribbon School by the U.S. Education Secretary. And 4 of our teachers, Tara Palomares, Kimberly Connell, Leisha Rupert, and Christopher Speck, received the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. This is the highest award K-12 math and science teachers can receive from the United States. And this year we launched our new APS International High School to support our refugee and immigrant students to assure they feel they belong. We are meeting the moment. We are taking bold action to give every student the opportunities and support that they need to succeed today and build a strong future. We know that doing things the way we have always done will not prepare students for the future, and we have taken steps this past year to change the path, change the focus, and change the trajectory for many of our students. We have a lot of work to do ahead of us, but I am certain that we have taken the steps forward to plan a new path. So, President Gonzalez, members of the Board of Education, students, families, APS colleagues, community members, and distinguished guests, what is the state of the district? Albuquerque Public Schools is strong, and we are building on the momentum that we have created. I am certain to be able to say that we are APS Rising. I'm going to assume that the video isn't working, and I'm just going to continue. I could act it out again, but we'll just. I'd like to thank our lawmakers and Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham for the investments that you have made for our students. Thank you to our Board of Education for the goals that you have set. Thank you to our parents for entrusting your most precious asset to us. Thank you, students, for your curiosity, for your willingness to explore new ideas, and for your trust in us. And thank you to the taxpayers for investing in our kids. And most importantly, thank you to our APS staff for the hard work that each of you put in every day to guide our students from their first moments in pre-K and kindergarten to walking across the stage as high school graduates receiving their diplomas. So at this time, I'd like to invite our board president, Gonzalez, to join me back on stage. The two of us have asked students our fair share of questions over the years, But today, we are going to turn the tables. And here to ask us a few questions is Jensen Wyatt, a senior at El Dorado High School. Jensen, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this morning? Good? Good? I hope you've enjoyed the morning this far. Maybe you've learned a couple new things. Maybe it's things you've already known. Either way, I think I've had a pretty good time. I can say myself. Can you say the same this morning, that you've had a pretty good time this morning? Like she said, I am Jensen Wyatt. I'm from El Dorado High School, class of 2026. I see a couple of our people over there. I'm really excited. But that's coming up quick, and I'm really excited. So it's a really big privilege and honor to be able to be up here this morning. But this morning, I am actually going to be asking a couple questions. We have a few questions. We're going to call it a fireside chat this morning, okay? So I've got a couple questions for both of you. I've got no cards, so don't be too worried. I've got no cards. I'm not going to go off the rails too much, all right? So I'm going to start easy. We're going to start really easy, okay? This is for President Gonzalez. What was your favorite class when you were in school and why?
Thank you, Jensen. So I mentioned earlier I went to Valley High School, and my favorite class was Mr. Paco's AP Calculus class.
Ooh, really?
Which no one ever says, right?
Right, yeah.
Never AP Calculus. But Mr. Paco was a lot of fun. He made calculus fun. He very much was inspired by Jaime Escalante, and he made us want to be in school. So much so that I took AB and BC Calculus and then didn't have to take any math in college.
Wow. Okay, you deserve bragging rights. Yeah, that's all. You can school me on math any day of the week. All right. I kind of ask you the same question. Just the same kind of deal. What was your favorite subject in school and why?
So mine is a little different. I did not take that many math classes. So I did take math in college. But mine was really based on my teacher. So it wasn't really by the subject. But if I had a connection to my teacher that year, then that was my favorite class. And on the flip side, if I didn't have a connection to my teacher, that was my least favorite class. And so I don't know if it was really a subject, but really my favorite teacher would encourage me to not want to miss that class more than the content that I was learning.
That's a good point, too. I think a teacher will shift your perspective on a class, and I think having a good teacher makes you want to be in class and be able to learn more. So thank you to all the teachers out here who make your classes engaging, because it makes a big difference. Really does. Okay, now this is for Dr. Blakey. Okay, what activities did you participate in, and what drew you to those activities?
So I participated in a lot of different activities. I participated in Student Senate, and that drew me to just being around a lot of people and being able to decorate for things and be involved in school. And I always felt like working in Student Senate, I got to kind of know the inside of the school. And so I got to know like the ins and outs, and I was really like kind of curious of how I could make the school better in that way. And then also I was involved in orchestra, so I started playing violin when I was in elementary school, and then I played all through middle school and high school. And so that was one of my major time commitments was being in orchestra, and I played basketball for a week.
All right. Hey, been there. All right. One time I played baseball for a while, saw a long career. I got hit in the knee one time, and I did not go back to practice after that, so I get you. But I also want to ask, so being in Student Senate, did that kind of spark your interest for a higher kind of position and want for in APS specifically, or?
No, so I changed my major 7 times when I was in high school, so I don't recommend that to any of our students, so if you could save some time. But I think that what that did do for me in Student Senate was I was really interested in making change. Like I started in high school really wanting to make my school better, and so then when I was in college, I realized like, oh wait, I can make schools better as becoming a teacher. And so I think that Student Senate kind of started my path on wanting to make change. I actually was a political science major for a long time. And so that was one of them. And so I think that helped me in Student Senate wanting to be involved and make change in schools.
Yeah. All right. This next question for President Gonzalez, what is the best part of being a school board member?
I think the best part of being a school board member is being able to see all of the successes within our community,
Sure.
being able to be out in the community, talking to people, talking to parents, talking to students, hearing what's working for them and what's not, and then being able to bring that back to the administration, back to the board to try to make improvement, like Dr. Blakey said. It's been exciting that we've been able to refine policy, to create goals, to hire a new amazing superintendent, and all of that is really based on feedback from the community. So I love being able to hear directly from the community. That's the fun part among some stuff that's not so fun.
I gotta ask this too, because you say you're from Valley and you had a history there in APS. Do you ever feel, and it's okay if yes, a little bias towards Valley in your superintendent position?
The answer is yes.
All right, yeah, that I would too, so I get that. All right, next question, Dr. Blakey. Why did you want to become a superintendent? You kind of already answered it, but, you know.
Yeah, so I went to Highland High School, so since we're going to compete
Yeah,
on
since we're
schools,
gonna-
I just felt like I should throw that out there. I would graduate from Highland High School. I didn't know I wanted to be a superintendent until, like, recently, until this morning, just kidding. But yeah, sometimes so I actually, when I became a teacher, I would get really frustrated with like not having what I needed to teach my best. And so I wanted to go into administration to become a principal so that I could help what I was facing as barriers as a teacher. And then when I was a principal, I was like, wait, there's still problems. And so I think one of the drivers behind being a superintendent is that I still think of myself as a teacher and how I could break down the barriers that were preventing me from being able to do my best work with students. And so I kind of approach it as I wanted to be the superintendent so that I could help break down barriers of the system that isn't really meeting the needs of our students.
Yeah, for sure. Same question to you. What was that drive for you to become part of higher up APS administration in a way?
Yeah, I don't think anyone as a child or a young adult says, I want to grow up and be a school board member.
Right, yeah.
However, I think the reason I ran is because I actually did spend my whole career in education and education policy, but I'm also a parent.
Yeah.
So I'm a parent to 4 kiddos who are in APS schools, and it was actually during the pandemic, as a parent, observing how these kiddos were navigating. I think they were like 4, 10, 13, and 12 maybe at the time. Can't remember, it's all a blur.
Right.
But I knew that there was an opportunity to make it better for kids like mine who came from a background with some fair amount of privilege. We had internet, we had food, we had housing, we had vehicles, we had everything that we needed to navigate the pandemic. They had 2 parents at home, and it was still hard.
Yeah.
And I think I recognized that a lot of students throughout our community didn't have that same level of privilege. And I felt that I needed to do something to contribute, to bring back, to help make it better for other students. And frankly, I think it was a bit of a decision on a whim. I didn't even know what running for school board entailed. And I kind of told my husband, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? I win.
Yeah, exactly. True, very true. Yeah, I think too that with both of your responses, that kind of speaks to me as be the change you want to see, and that if you see an issue, go out and fix it rather than just watch it get worse. And so that's really inspiring to me, and I'm sure everybody else in the room. But next question, Dr. Blakey, can you explain the difference between a principal and a superintendent and a board member? So what are the difference between those 3?
I feel like this is a test.
Just maybe. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So the principal...
We will hold you accountable.
The principal is a great job. We have 2 good principals over here, so if they want to help me with it.
They'll give you a look if it's not right. So.
So the principal really sets the culture and the leadership for the individual school. So the principal, is in charge of the teachers, is responsible for the students, the community, the parents. I see another principal. The principals really set the leadership for the school community. The superintendent sets the leadership for the school district. So the system of schools. So the principals, we have 140 principals, and so those principals then I support the principals so that they can support the students.
All right.
The school board is the governing structure for the district. So they set policy, they approve the budget, and they hire the superintendent. They also fire the superintendent, but I didn't want to say that.
Right.
So they hire the superintendent. So the school board is like the high level of the governance, like they're my bosses, and the principal and the superintendent do the daily work in driving the outcomes for our students.
All right, principals, was she correct? Was she right? Okay, there we go. All right, very good. All right, President Gonzalez, you spend a lot of time talking about goals. Could you boil down the goals for us as students and explain to us a little bit why they're important?
Yeah, so I mentioned in my beginning remarks that the goals were set by the communities. We actually went out to the community and we asked, what's important to you? And so what they told us is we want kids to be able to read.
Yes.
We want kids to be able to do math. We want our students to be ready for life after high school, whatever that may bring. And we want them to have the life skills necessary to succeed in life. And so that's where we talk about things like self-management and being able to work with others, being able to solve problems, being able to think critically, being able to be on time for stuff.
Right.
Those were the things that the community told us mattered. And so those got boiled down into the 4 goals.
Very good. All right, sweet. All right, now this is for both of you. It doesn't matter who answers first, but what advice would you give somebody for someone who's my age? Right now I'm 17, told you I'm a senior. What would your advice be for somebody who's my age?
So my advice for you, I feel like you could give me advice, actually. So my advice for you would be to really be proud of who you are, and everything that you have is an asset to who you are. That everybody is unique, and with each of you, you all have different gifts and talents that you will use to give back to your community. And so as a 17-year-old, I think it's really, don't think about what you aren't or what your friend is that you're not. Think about your own assets and your own gifts and how you can draw on those to give back to other people.
Awesome. Hey, that's great advice. That is great. Okay. President Gonzalez. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Jensen. This is a question I think a lot because, as I mentioned, I do have 2 high schoolers in my home.
So it's important, yes.
They're 15 and 16, go to Valley and Early College Academy, so I'm always giving high schoolers advice.
Yes.
But I think the biggest thing that I would give to a 17-year-old is to have fun. I think a lot of times there's a lot of pressure around you in everything that you do, from social media to having to do your chores to having to dress appropriately, right kind of makeup, right kind of shoes, right kind of clubs to join, words to say, all of those things. And I would encourage students just to not stress and have fun.
Very good. Yeah. Also, clap it up for that one. That's a really good point. That makes me feel a lot better, especially now. Seniors in the room, or even juniors, the kind of pressure of what comes next after high school. So those are both very good advices. So right now, this is again for both of you. We're going to do a rapid fire question. Okay, these are easier, much easier. You don't have to tell me the difference between positions. It's very simple and questions that you're going to know the answer to. All right. So first question: favorite restaurant? Go.
My favorite restaurant is Matucci's.
Ooh.
Sadie's.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, now Matucci's or Sadie's? Raise your hand for Matucci's. Okay, now raise your hand for Sadie's. I actually can't tell. I think Matucci's won. All right, question number 2. Favorite musician?
My favorite, myself, just kidding.
Oh.
My favorite musician is probably Bono from U2, if you've ever heard of them.
I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have. Surprisingly, yes, I have.
Pitbull.
Yes, there we go. All right.
He was my second.
Number 3, what's your sports team?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Any objection? A little bit. I see it over the room. All right, it's all right.
My alma mater, Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Oh, okay, all right. So tell me a little bit about what that is, actually. I did not pick up.
That's okay. Football, college football.
College football. There we go. All right, that's out of 2 for me. I'm sure somebody else got it, but yeah. All right, number 4, favorite movie. That's a really hard one.
Selena.
Oh, okay, very good.
So I'm going to date myself because it's the only thing that came to mind right now. My favorite movie is called Say Anything. So if anybody is my age, thank you.
Say Anything fans, yes. All right.
So you guys all go and watch it. You'll like it. It's about somebody in high school.
All right. Yeah, I've never watched it. I'm going to have to. What's it on? Do you know?
VHS.
Okay. Good point. Okay, good. Very good. Very good. All right. Last rapid fire question. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would go to Italy.
Ooh, how come?
I have, my mom's family is in Italy, and I like being around the water
Very good.
in the desert, but I like water.
Yeah, awesome.
I would say Tokyo,
Oh, okay. How come?
because it just seems so extreme and different from what we have, and also a bit like living in the future.
That too. Also good food. I hear very good, and in Italy too. Bertucci's. Yeah, very good. Very good food. All right. Hey, well, that's all the questions we have. Can you give it up for our people tonight? This is really awesome. Thank you. You guys are great. You guys are great. Yes. Good to
Can
see
you also give it up for Jensen?
Hey, and we also actually have a walkout song, so let's play that walkout song, and you guys are free to walk that way. I believe we will face everything. All right. Well, that was our fireside chat. We hope you enjoyed and learned something. The morning has already been incredible. So before we close out, I'm going to pass the microphone back to Gage. So please give it up back for Gage. Oh, I'll take it.
All right. Thank you all for being here today. Your presence shows just how much you care about public education and the future of APS students. We're grateful to our speakers, President Gonzalez, Dr. Richards, and of course our superintendent, Dr. Blakey. Thank you for sharing your stories and your passion. A special thank you to all of the students who participated, and thanks to all of you for taking the time to listen, learn, and celebrate together. With this kind of support and commitment from our community, there's no doubt it's going to be a great school year. Thank you. And could we please have all the students remain in here after you guys all leave? Thank you.